fam, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jumoke. Nice to meet you. On this channel, we talk about thin to medium fine natural hair fade, dream interpretation. So if any of those interest you, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you can continue to get more great content. Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about my skin bleaching story. And I know some of you guys are like, skin bleaching? But yeah, so I want to talk to you guys about my skin bleaching story, but before that I'm going to walk you through my journey with hyperpigmentation. So when it comes to my skin, I have been blessed with pretty nice skin. I don't suffer from acne, never suffer from acne except 1 week in 8th grade. I don't have large pores, texture, all that stuff. The only problems I have with my skin literally is just hyperpigmentation and then like dark circles and under eye bags, but I consider that a separate issue. So that's basically the only skin issue that I've had. Now, my hyperpigmentation, it just mostly congregates like around my mouth, like here, and right here where my glasses sit, as you guys can see. And I feel like maybe it's because I have really bad eyesight, so maybe the glasses that I'm wearing are really heavy, and maybe it's causing, you know, or worsening my hyperpigmentation, I don't know. So anyways, yeah, over the years, I really have begun to learn my skin more because I just wasn't raised in a culture that really cares about self-care. I think Nigerians, just us, let's just be real, we're just really harsh people. Like, even when you're younger and you hurt your arm or something, your parents will be like, he's okay, like, we rough. Like, I don't know why we're so rough. But when it comes to skin, my whole life all I've used was Dial soap or Irish Spring and water. Yeah, like that's probably, like, in hindsight, that's like the worst thing that you can use on your skin. And it wasn't until I was in college that a guy told me, like, why are you using that for your skin? And I'm like, because it gets me clean, like, you know. He's like, you want your skin to fall off? But in my mind, I always thought that my skin, even like my hair, like I'm reconditioning my mind to think certain things. I used to think that in order to be clean, everything needs to be squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. Even my hair, like everything has to be so squeaky clean. And unknowingly, I was stripping my skin and everything from the moisture and the natural oils that it has. So I learned as I got older, but still, that was mostly my regimen. Then in undergrad, I started using like coconut oil. Then when my friend said, hey, you know, you should really use sunscreen, yes, you're black, but if you want to keep your skin looking this way for pretty much your whole life, you need to start using sunscreen. But besides that, I didn't really dig deep into trying to understand my skin. It was just when my hyperpigmentation would flare up, that's when I'm like, no. So over the time, I've learned that when it comes to my hyperpigmentation, it would worsen usually in extreme temperatures. So whether it's extreme heat or it's extreme or just cold in general, that would dry out my skin and cause the hyperpigmentation to worsen. I feel like part of the problem that I had was that my skin was just dry in general, and that was really causing the hyperpigmentation in general. So yeah, I noticed it really significantly in undergrad once, and then when I moved to Arizona. Oh, and mind you, I moved there in the summertime. So when I got there, it was 115 degrees. Guys, my skin was crying. And I said, wow, now I know that there's a hell. And its name is Arizona. Now I know. Father God, who has offended you in this your Arizona? I don't understand. But that really worsened my hyperpigmentation. So when I got back in South Florida, I made an appointment for a dermatologist, but it wasn't even for my hyperpigmentation, it was for my keloid. So if some of you have been following me since like undergrad, I used to have a cartilage piercing that I got pierced like my sophomore year of college, and it never healed. And I think it's just because around that time I was doing the max hydration method, so there was a lot of clay and food stuff that was going in my ear, so I don't think it ever had the chance to heal properly. Even though I tried my best to clean it or whatever, it was just, since I was doing too much to my hair, it was affecting my piercing. So anyways, it started growing into a keloid, and I said I need to get this fixed. Got, you know, the appointment for the dermatologist. But here's the thing, even with insurance, the copay for a dermatologist, because it's a specialty doctor, it's like $50 or $75. I'm not sure, I think it's $50. So I'm like, if I'm paying $50 just to look at you in your face, I'm gonna make the most out of this. So I was gonna ask about like my skincare and everything. So I went to a dermatologist. They gave me a steroid injection for my keloid, and I was supposed to go back like 2 weeks later, but I really didn't need to because the keloid kind of healed on its own and like disappeared. So I was like, thank God. But I asked, he was a older white man. Something in my spirit tells me that he was a believer, but anyways, and I asked him about, you know, my hyperpigmentation. He told me straight off the rip, yo, hyperpigmentation is probably the most difficult thing to treat when it comes to skincare. He said it's really difficult to treat hyperpigmentation. And I told him my regimen. I was like, okay, oh yeah, since like Arizona and like just going through that dryness, that day I went to get a body oil, a face oil, a spin brush, a face scrub, and I ordered some hydrochloric acid from like Mario Badescu. I think that's how you pronounce it. So I was doing like all of that like in different ways throughout the week. And my hyperpigmentation was getting slightly better, but it still wasn't gone. So I told him that was what I was doing, and he said, okay, well, that's a great regimen, but I think you're doing it too frequently and the time that you're doing it. He was like, you know, all the scrubbing and the exfoliating and the acid, when you're doing that and you go into the sun, it is actually worsening your hyperpigmentation because you're creating abrasions into your face, and then it's gonna get darker with the sun. I'm like, but I'm using, you know, what's it called? Sunscreen. He said, yeah, but still just the fact that you're doing that and, you know, you're in really sunny places, it's gonna worsen your hyperpigmentation. He suggested I would do it less and do it at night, so I'm not going directly into the sunlight after I do different treatments. So I said, okay, you know, I'm learning. So anyways, and he told me straight up, he's like, those things are great, but they're not going to really get rid of your hyperpigmentation the way that you would like, because they're like, they may help with it, but you know, whatever. So he basically prescribed to me this prescription Tri-Luma. It's like a cream called Tri-Luma, and it's a really small cream, and he said, oh, you only have to use it for a month, don't use it any more than a month, but you might see results in 2 weeks. But y'all, even with the prescription and the discount that he gave me, it was a good $75 for just a tiny little tube. Like this is how big it was for $75. And I'm like, I took the prescription, and I'm like, you know what, let me just look online, like let me see what this is about. So I saw the active ingredients were basically steroids and 4% hydroquinone. I'm gonna pronounce this word wrong for the rest of the video, so just get used to it. So I was like, if you guys know anything about that active ingredient, that is the active ingredient used in most skin bleaching products. And I was like, I'm not really trusting. It got the steroids, it's 4%, I don't know. So I kind of like let that go for a bit. That was a year ago that I went, and I was just, you know, still doing my little home remedies. So fast forward to this year, the beginning of this year, in January, this has been a really abnormal cold winter in Florida. And of course, in cold weather, my skin is like just because it's dry, like it's just the hyperpigmentation just so I was like, you know what, this has to go. I have to do something about this. So I looked online, what's the best oil for hyperpigmentation? Everyone said carrot oil. So I said, okay, Holy Spirit, let's go to the beauty supply store, because I don't know, I just assumed that they would have more specialty oil. So I got that, and then my eyes landed on rose water mist, because I'm realizing part of my hyperpigmentation, the problem is that my skin is dry, and it's not that I don't moisturize or hydrate my skin at the beginning of the day, but it's just by the time it's like midday, my skin is dry all over again. So I wanted something that would last a little longer, and that stuff was, it's honestly, that product that I got is probably one of the best products I ever got in my life. Like, oh my gosh, it is so hydrating. My skin be feeling so plump. It is so good. It is really, really good. That rose water mist that I got. And then I went to Walmart, and I said, you know what, let me just complete everything. Let me get a dark spot corrector, anti-fade cream, whatever. Maybe from Ambi or from Black Radiance. Is that even a I don't even know. You know, so I went to the ethnic section of Walmart and I said, okay, let me just look for anti-fade cream. Now, here's what it gets tricky, and this is why I started whitening, whitening, bleaching, same thing, my skin. They all had the same active ingredient, which was the hydroquinone, but since it's over the counter, everything said 2%. So I'm like, you know what, Chimoke? It's the end of the road, and you gotta let it go. Like, you may feel some type of way about this ingredient, but this is the best ingredient for hyperpigmentation that you're going to find on the market. I'm not someone who's very against chemicals. I think that different chemicals can be used for different things. I think it's just about moderation and the intent and the motive that you use things for. And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather pay $5 for this anti-fade cream right now and use it for a few months like I'm supposed to, and then be done. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what I did. You know, $5, $75, like you were gonna spend $75 on some anti-fade cream anyways, so might as well just buy one that's over the counter, that's a lesser potency, and just use it for a slightly longer duration of time. So that's what I did. I bought that. I'll put everything that I use in the description box, and I just use it around my mouth because that's where my hyperpigmentation is, and right here on my nose. I've been using it like maybe 2 weeks shy of like 3 months. So I'm really enjoying the results that I have. Like, I feel like my face is looking a lot more even. It is really, I just love it. I just want to be able to just not wear like any makeup, and just for my skin to just be, I mean, it's not that I don't or I can't not wear makeup. I don't wear makeup a lot, but I want to feel more confident with just my skin. Like, without any foundation or any concealer, I would like my skin to be completely even, and then I'll work on my under eye bags and dark circles later. Yeah, I'll work on that later. But basically that's what I've been doing. I've been seeing really good results. I think I'm gonna use it for maybe another 2 weeks, so for the full duration. Yeah, I actually wasn't using it around my mouth for the full duration. I think I've only used it for a month and a half, and on my nose I've been using it for a little bit longer, but then I think it's because I put my glasses on top, so I don't think like it's been like marinating as well as it could be, so which is why I only use it at night now, because when I use it during the day and if I put my glasses on and then my glasses is like, it's just it's just a mess. So yeah, that's basically my skin bleaching story. That is my journey with hyperpigmentation. Let me know if you have any skin issues. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.